Hello everyone. Welcome to the channel if you are new, and welcome back if you are already a subscriber. Today's video is going to be a real-time plan with me, and it is for the week of the 15th through the 21st of September, week 38. Cannot believe we're this far into the year. As the lovely little post-it note explains, we're going to be using the Q3 washi nerdy notes washi from Coffee Monster Co. And I'm pretty excited about it. Originally, I think I was going to use this the week prior. If you already watched my September plan with me, then you'll know I kind of got a little off kilter with the planning that I set out for myself this month. I originally hoped to use this last week, and I really just needed like a week off of plan with me, to be completely frank about it. I really just needed a week off to catch up on content, just kind of get going with life a little bit. And things were just a little crazy. So I think this worked out a little bit better. So I ripped up a lot of spreads, and plus I did make an oops. Originally, I thought that Mabon was going to be the 20th, I think. I really should do a better job about like Googling the dates before I set that up sometimes. Because it can fall anywhere between like the 20th and the 22nd. And the spring equinox is the same. So you would have thought that I would have known to Google that, but I did not, in fact, do so. And that led to, I really do feel like I want to pull a different color, like a different color than what I pulled, but I think I'm going to leave it. So yeah, I had to rip up some washi and move it around, and then I decided that I was going to skip a week of plan with me. It's just for a mental sanity break, all the things, but we're back at it and I'm pretty excited. So like I said, I'm using the Q3 washi, and then I am using these 3 tombos. So we've got 312 to match this pretty green. We've got 991 to match this yellow, and then 912 to kind of match this like pinky color. And hopefully everything will pan out that way. These were the colors that Helen from Coffee Monster Co. chose when she did her plan with me. So I'm hoping that her expertise is going to guide our way. I do need to grab a pencil board of sorts, just to give us a little bit of structure here. And I'm gonna just grab a sticker book to bump us up while we do some highlighting. So we need to set up for the week. I actually like the idea of this green being my headers. So we're gonna do one here and then one right under 14. And then I think I want to do right above 19. I think I want to do like a content list, because I have a lot of content that I need to work on this particular week. So we're going to let that dry a touch, and I'm going to put in my days of the week first, and actually be cognizant of that this week. If you've been around for a while, then you'll know I have a tendency to, I'll show you, put one up and one down. It's just a freaking mess. So we're gonna let that dry. I think I want my water to be in yellow. Oh, that's so pretty. It's actually raining outside. I had zero idea it was gonna rain. It's been, we need it really bad though, so no complaints. I kind of think I might try to find like a brown that suits that as well to like pull some neutral out of this. And then I'm going to use the 912 for my do I have enough? I can drop it from 21, I think. It's above, sorry, I'm trying to like, I think I'm gonna leave it here at this 21 and just see where it lands. I really don't think this is the best color for this. I definitely think I should have used the pink, because this is much more orangey than pink. I might go back over it with that pink to at least maybe try to put it there. And then I kind of like this brown. So maybe off camera while things dry or something like that, I can go back and find something a little bit more fitting. I might try to go over it with that pink in the next clip that we do. Okay, so now I'm going to put in all of my little emotion faces. I always add an extra face for energy that is like dead for energy. With little X's and a mouth. That's probably one of my favorite things that I always add. Okay, and then we're going to do skincare, vitamins, meds, meals, workout, and instead of journal, I think I'm just gonna do film, because I have a lot of filming to do this week. As far as bills go, I know there's some things that I really need to pay, but it would be like paying ahead, which is great, but I need to figure out what those are. I literally say that, I feel like, at the beginning of every video. This is where I'm gonna do my content list, but again, I'm gonna need to kind of fill that in off camera because I need to look at everything as a whole for the week, and I don't want to just assume, and I kind of want to put it in order because I'm weird like that. So I'm gonna pop this here, and then you'll notice I'm not putting in my headers yet. I usually am pretty good about letting them dry. I feel like I did put another planner on here. Aha, I did. Okay. And then I'm gonna do September 2024 because I definitely am gonna be trying to fill that in. I'm a little bit farther behind in that than I wanted to be. Got mate bed dishes, floors, litter box, garden, 10 minutes, and one task. Okay, right, so this kind of sets us up. In the next segment, we will go ahead and start filling out Monday and get started on the week, and maybe experiment with this little stripe. That's really annoying. I really would have used that pink if I should have tested it beforehand. I just went with Helen's gut and what colors, but I do forget from time to time that Tombows can sometimes be a little bit juicier for other people or be like a little bit off. I don't know if you guys have experienced that. We also have like a light blue here that I feel like could be super helpful. But I definitely think we'll pull a few more colors out of here to play with for the week. But all right, I'll see you guys in the next one. And we're back. So 2 quick things that I cannot control. Number 1, they are doing some type of lawn care situation that way, and my washer is washing clothes that way. So I'm sorry for the background noise, but we're trying to be efficient today and do all things at the same time. So we are going to fill in Monday and have a nice little chat about that. And one thing I do want to go ahead and say is this week I am going to do a tiny icons only. I haven't done one of these in a while, and I think it would be super fun. So that's what we're going to do, is tiny icons only. So we're going to do mood. And my mood for Monday, I feel like I was here. I was content. I wasn't like overly ecstatic or anything. I just feel like it was okay. And then energy wise, about the same. I'm gonna do energy. And that almost looks like a V. And then I'm gonna write content here. This is my content list. These are all the videos that I would like to film this week, but I'm not heartbroken if I don't get to you. And this is kind of in the order I need to do them. I did try swatching this 772 over the orange on a spare piece of paper, and I did not care for it. So we're just gonna use it as a tool to color code some meetings and things in my actual days. So we can write personal here. I think I may try to film a plan with me soon that doesn't include the setup. Let me know if you guys want me to keep the setup in, or you're like, you know, I get the gist. I get where you put your stuff. No sweat. You could live without it. Love all the outdoor sounds. So fun for everybody. Okay, so I've already popped my weather in because that seems logical. Let me zoom you guys in because I feel like that would be super helpful. Alrighty, so Monday I got off to a pretty quick start. Jeff actually needed to leave very early, so that got me up and going. He got up at like, I don't know, it was like 4 or something. Oh, I did it again. I really have gotten to the point where I don't care for the like indicators like this. I know sometimes it's helpful for me, but I just like the little dot. And I could have done an icon for laundry, truthfully, but worked on the beach dailies, and then went into work from there. I want to put a little bar here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and put a bar here. Because that was super quick. Because I know that we have our huddles at 9:30 on Tuesday. Okay, so from here, I'm just going to see what kind of sticker I think is best. I don't really have like a good, could I say that like the to-do is a tiny icon? I don't know if I can get away with that. I really want to keep it icons. Let's do this. Oh, another thing that I did this morning that was really quite interesting. And I did get to work a little bit early, but I'm gonna move this up. Did I get to work early? No, because I did my hair. I'm just gonna move it down one so that I can put workout, because I very rarely get a workout in before an actual day. So we'll do emails. And Gonzalez. And then I'll do, I ended up going to Walmart and I kind of want to put a dot in for that, but I think I'm just gonna skip it. And do Sheldon. And so cars. Normally I'd like to leave a little bit of space, but it's kind of okay. I'll do Zwicky. I am gonna skip over this just because it's drying. Bishop and Glover. Yes, that's all right. Okay. And then oh, okay. I need the dinner, or I need like a heart. I kind of like a heart. If I have them. I can't remember if I bought them or not. And I kind of realized that this may not have been the best time to try to do a tiny icons video, because I certainly think I ordered some new tiny icons in my birthday order. That would have been cool to have. Okay. I'm going to use the meal sticker, actually. For 1, 2, 3, 4. It was like 5 that we got there. And then I'm gonna grab my ruler and I'm gonna do my work line to here and then continue to here. Just put some little dots on the end to cap it. And then I think I'm gonna use a little, actually, do this. Some Orlando research and then worked on tidy the apartment and laundry. Literally the beginning and end of most of my days, I feel like. Okay. Again, I'm going to continue to let that dry and hang out while we go through the trackers. Okay, so skincare. Yes. Vitamins and meds. Yes. I did track my meals. I did get both of those. Workout. I did get my steps, I'm pretty sure. Yes. Sorry, I had to think about that way too hard. And I did film that day. So I also had a really great water day. Okay, and then no bills were paid. No tracker updates. I don't think I can clock anything else there. Definitely make the bed, dishes, floors, litter box. I don't know that I really did anything in the garden. 10 minutes or one task. Nope. Okay, so now we're gonna go back here and I'm gonna write in okay. I really like this pink much better than this orange. I think if I did this color scheme again, sorry, I just realized I'm like really zoomed in. Okay. I would try to find a blue or use this like soft red. I really like both of those as well for like a different color scheme. But that is gonna do it. I'm not even gonna worry about trying to shove these back in there because they're not gonna wanna go. I'm going to call that a great stopping point for our Monday update, and I will catch you guys in the next clip. See you then. All right, let's get on to the next section, which is Tuesday. So let's go ahead and start with trackers. So my mood Tuesday, I would say, is about the same, and I would say my energy was about the same. As far as content, I did actually finish last week's Plan With Me and the Beach Daily. So definitely making some progress. I'm super stoked about it. You'll see I already popped my weather in. So now I need to kind of pick out some icons that I want to use for the day. I want to use this for sure. Groceries. I think I might want to use the phone one. I rarely use those, but I think it's applicable. Definitely that one and this one, and then we'll do that. Okay, so we've got a good amount of icons that I can use today. So Jeff spent the night. And we did get going a little bit later than I would have ideally wanted to. But I did film, and I actually finished the actual pages themselves. I intended to do the voiceover actually at the office because it's so quiet. It's so ridiculously quiet. But in the grand scheme of things, that did not work out because we ended up having our last appointment show up late. So that kind of monkey wrenched it a little bit, but it was totally fine. It happens. And then I want to start my list for the day. I didn't get there until 9. So I'm gonna kind of start here. With Chip. And then I'm gonna do SH at 9:30. That service huddle, that's the best way I can abbreviate it. It really doesn't even last a full half hour. Like the team huddles can tend to run a little bit longer, but I just really don't want to take up too much space. Handle 916 apps, which needed to be toggled. I really wish I could just get a decent amount of luck where they weren't trying to do grounds maintenance every time I try to film. That'd be great. Jesus. And then Ollengren. It was kind of the last thing. This clip won't be too terribly long. I think this is just gonna go much faster because I'm not running around for stickers like crazy. I'm gonna do a little call situation. I called Universal because I was having issues building my package, and we did figure out why, which was super helpful. So that was lovely. But pretty much any time I wasn't working on work stuff, like if I needed a brain break, I was working on Orlando planning. And then I am gonna put a tracker note there because I actually did update my tracker while I was at work. Then I want to do a little grocery thing. And that would have been like right after work. So I'm going to do Publix. And then I came home and did a lot of YouTube stuff and TV. So that was pretty much my evening. Like I said, this was gonna be pretty easy. I'm gonna do beach, and last week plan with, no, we'll have to let it sit, because as I have learned from some filming recently, I need to let that sit, but it's gonna need to say plan with me. I got those done, and then while things were uploading, I really just tidied up the house and watched Sandman. Okay. That looks so weird to me. Okay. My neighbor has been like MIA for a while. I know that he travels for work, but still, it's very strange to me. It's at the same time as yesterday. Okay, we've got that. And then we've got skincare, vitamins, meds. I was hoping to have like enough space to write that I started my birth control this day, but I didn't. 5, got 7, so I got really close. I do think the new water bottle is helping, but still taking some getting used to. While I have the ruler out, we're going to connect some dots. I'm very scared that I just flapped that right on there. It's a miracle I don't smudge things sometimes, I think. Okay, got those dots filled in. Nothing on the bills front yet. We'll get there later in the week for sure. I'm going to put a note for the tracker. Definitely in weeks. And that kind of does that. And then I'm gonna do bed, dishes, floors, litter box. And that takes care of that. Another thing that I did yesterday that I forgot to record is that I bought my James Burke Creative whimsical illustration. And I'm so sorry if I'm, just to give you clarity, like I don't always film on the day that it looks like I do, so I'm just throwing that out there. So my timelines are a little interesting, but we're just gonna completely, continuity does not matter in this particular case, but we're just doing it in a relative order. But I did buy a whimsical illustration from James Burke Creative for 75% off, which was thrilling. So it's like a $250 course that cost me like 60 bucks, I think, like that, something in that hemisphere. Perfect. Okay, so I am going to take a quick break and then come back to filming. Hello again. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom us in super tight. I have not added the weather yet for today, but we can go ahead and work on our trackers and then we will fill in from there. So as far as mood, I'm gonna go in the middle. There's been some ups, there's been some downs. Energy, I would definitely say I've got pretty high energy today, actually. I'm pretty excited about that. Go ahead and connect these little guys while we're at it. Be very careful doing so. Let's see if we can get through this whole video without smudges. Okay. Right, and then let's do some trackers. So we've got one for skincare. I haven't taken my vitamins yet. I did track my meals yesterday. And I have tracked everything up to this point. I won't exit out completely. I have already worked out. I'm doing good on steps. And I filmed yesterday and today, so I can mark those off. Again, still no bills paid, but we're gonna mark in some water. I've already got 2 bottles down, or 2 cups down. I've actually got 3, but I'm gonna finish off that bottle soon. I'm gonna go ahead and mark in tracker, weekly, weeks. That's where we're at with those guys. And then I can do, oh, do you guys like my nails? I painted my nails today during a webinar. So I made my bed, did dishes. I still need to do floors, litter box. I handled the garden. Okay, so that's that. Now moving over to the main meat and potatoes of all this. Let's see what trackers are appropriate. So, I definitely think the TV will be, this is going to be a shorter update, and I'll have to do a bigger update tomorrow night because I'm going to Jeff's tonight. So we're going to do YouTube. Put that there. Sorry, I could tell that was like more than one when I set it down. I'm gonna use that if I have space. There's so much noise in my hallway. And we'll use a laptop. And that if I have room. Okay. And really I'm just picking out icons that are obviously applicable for today so far. So we're gonna use a little super cute like plant sprout one because I needed to water my plants. And I also needed to spray the my raspberries because I've got like a mites, some kind of issue with them. I need a sticker book to put underneath this little guy. I painted my nails so that I can do a really cool plan with me that you guys will see at some point. Okay, so I want to do that. What is happening? It's like there's a weird like stray fiber or something. Gonna let that rest, but I can remember I popped that in because that had finally rested, and then after that I went to the gym to work out pretty early actually, but and I did use weights today. I did my hourglass routine and I actually went up on the weight. So I've been doing 5 and I went to 10, which I've done 10 before. I think I've gotten all the way up to 20 before in that workout, but it's been a long time, so I'm kind of easing my way back into it. I'm just gonna write hourglass because I know that that takes weights. And then we're gonna do a work. Okay. And we had another, why did I start it there? That's really weird. And we're gonna let this sit, but I had another team huddle and I'm remote today. So we're going to just pop some dots in. Sorry to be quiet. I'm just kind of consulting my list off to the side. And then I'm gonna continue and just write. This is basically everything I need to do, like all the clients I need to attend to today. So, I'm not gonna put in the meal one just yet. You know, I'm actually gonna save that little laundry dude. I did the bigger load of laundry today, but I don't need to take up space with that as much as I need to for this because it'll take a little bit longer and needs to get done. I'm trying to decide how much space to take up. Okay, I'm gonna do 2 lines because I know it'll take me a little while to film that one. I thought this would be like such a fun nail polish color to do an October plan with me because it's kind of spooky but kind of fun at the same time. I am cooking dinner for Jeff and I, but I don't know if I'm gonna be doing it before I leave or after. So I'm gonna let that sit. And then when we come back tomorrow, I'll go ahead and like pull us out. There we go. When we come back tomorrow, I will have my weather in for both of these days. We'll fill in all the fun trackers, and then also kind of fill in for whatever happened tonight. But I will see you guys then. Hello. As you can tell from my nails, it's been a minute. So we've got some updates to put in. Let's go ahead and just start and work our way over. So I have filled out my trackers for Wednesday, but let's go ahead and put in mood and everything for Thursday. So my energy was actually, and my mood were both pretty good. I wouldn't say I was like hitting it out of the ballpark or anything, but I did have a good day. And I just realized I'm gonna need to grab a Tombow, so let me grab that. set ourselves up for success a little bit. Okay, so we're gonna pull that little guy out. Okay, we'll let these little dots dry. I am going to check off the October plan with me. And then that is all for that at that point. Then I do want to grab my ruler. I believe it's in here. It is not, but we're gonna just use my little Hobonichi stencil, and that'll do. Okay, so we've got everything connected, right? I have popped in the weather, and then I do want to grab a sticker book just to beef the back of this up a bit so I'm not dropping too far. And then I am going to write water and spray, because I needed to spray my roses that morning, or not my roses, my raspberries. They've got like aphids or something. I don't know what's going on. And then I'm going to write in Team Huddle at 11 a.m. and that went on for a while. And then I am also going to move Smith and Shanty over because I didn't get to those. Everything else I got to. But I needed to handle all of that stuff up top before I left, and I did want to film my October plan with me before I left for Jeff's. It was a very quiet night. We just watched Sandman, nothing too exciting, so let's find some tiny icons to discuss that. But I do have a really fun icon that I am going to pop in here. And I'm probably not even thinking while I'm flipping through these, honestly. And I'll probably have to go through them again, unfortunately. No, maybe not. Ah, I don't. Okay, so we're gonna start with these guys. So I want to add in a heart icon because after I filmed this clip, and this was super funny. So a big reason I was holding off on filming my October plan with me is because I wanted to use these little like date cover type of things for my Hobonichi weeks. But as luck would have it, my order had not arrived yet. And then, irony of ironies, I film and upload my October plan with me, and ta-da, it arrived. So I was rather annoyed about that. But I'm gonna put order number 2 arrived. I was very excited that it arrived because I was very nervous because my ninja fingers and I did not, where did that just go? There it is. My birthday, or this, I placed a second order, which I don't normally do, and it was sticker only, which is rare, but I forgot that when it is set up like that, that I don't have like it's set up to track. And I was super freaked out. Unfortunately, I was just completely freaking terrified about it getting here because I haven't done an untracked order in a really, really long time. Because my mail was just not conducive to that. It just kept getting lost and screwed up, and yeah. So I'm gonna section this whole thing off right here. Okay. I like doing my meetings in pink. I've really enjoyed that. So, all right, let's go through our trackers while this dries. So we've definitely got skincare. Vitamins and meds were taken on both. Meals were logged for both. I did not work out that day. I'm pretty sure I didn't anyway. Consulting. I am correct. And then I didn't work out. I'll need to look up. Oh, I can look up my steps because I was smart enough to put it somewhere else. And then did I film? Yes, I filmed. Okay. And I know some of these bills got paid, but the question is when, so I do want to be accurate. If you hear someone's car alarm, I'm really sorry about that. Okay. And then I'll write in Sandman season 2. Okay. More trackers. I really am not going to be able to track off any other planning things that I can think. Actually, that's a lie. I'm going to go ahead and do this in real time. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I worked on September of 2024. And then I worked on my weeks on Sunday, and that's really it. I make my bed every day. I don't know that I had any garden time that day or did a task or anything like that, so I'll leave that there. All the fun of retroactive planning, right? I know I hit 6. Right. So now I know we need a YouTube icon. I feel like I need more context of what happened on Friday so badly. It's all very blurry. And I'm sorry for that because that is not helpful to the plan with me. I must have flipped past it. I'm looking for my little cursor. Here it is. Okay. So I got up and drove straight home. And was able to get ready and tidy the apartment. I don't think I filmed before I left. Now I'm like super curious as to when I filmed this actual plan with me. So I might have to look that up before I like definitively like put something down. But we can fill in a little bit here, and then I'll just do that in the next clip. Okay, so we're gonna put this here. So this is where I just write down all the clients that I kind of had work with. And then I'm gonna put pool at 10:30. I'm just gonna, I should have centered that more, but it's okay because I really want to like draw a line like I did over here, but still it wouldn't have interfered. I could have centered that more, full disclosure. And then Shelton, Murray, I'm most curious. And then I'm going to fill out my trackers, and then when I pop back on, we'll add when I actually filmed the birthday order, and I'll have put in the weather. So we'll add that and then continue on, but I just want to be as accurate as I possibly can be, but I need to look at my phone for that. So Friday, I was about, I'm gonna say I was probably more meh, and I did have a really good run, so my energy was pretty good at the beginning of the day. So I am gonna go ahead and check that I filmed the birthday order, because I did do it, but I don't know when I did it, but it was somewhere in here. Skincare, vitamins, meds, workout. I did hit my steps on Friday, and I'm gonna go ahead and mark Sunday just because I have it in front of me. And I'm gonna wait to check off the filming because I'm not 100% sure what that occurred on. And we've already agreed that unfortunately that is as full as that's gonna get. Definitely made the bed, dishes. Floors get a slash unless I sweep, and if I just sweep or just vacuum, I do a slash. If I've done both, then I get an X, if that makes sense. Okay. We're gonna leave that there. And then I'm going to mark off all my water for Friday. Okay. So that was a little bit longer. the clips will be a little bit clunkier through here while I kind of remember what all went down over these days. So just bear with me, and I'm going to try to have as much information at my disposal as we go through that. But definitely a little bit clunkier of a finish than how we got going. So, all right, I'll check in with you guys here in a minute. Okay, research has been concluded, I think, for now. So we are going to connect some dots. Like I said, no other videos were accomplished, unfortunately, over the weekend. As far as my mood went for the rest of it, so Saturday, I would say I was more like even lower. And then Saturday I was lower, and then Sunday I kind of like came back up a good bit. Like I really kind of rallied. So I'm gonna put it back up here. I did kind of like dip again down to just like meh. So I'm gonna connect all those as far as my mood goes. And energy, I tanked super bad on Saturday. Not all the way to dead. We were just like a notch above, and then kind of came back up to here. So my energy typically stays good. Like I will go through a phase for sure where my energy is super low, but I'm gonna let all those dry. I will need to pop in the weather for these 2 days. That'll be the last little bit. But as far as skincare, we get slashes, we get check marks for vitamins and meds. I filled out my meals all for last week. I'm so happy about that. I did work out no more, unfortunately, for the rest of the weekend, which is really, really, really rare. I really enjoy working out, and especially if I get like a weekend like this one where it's all to myself, I get to stay home and I'm not running back and forth between Jeff and my house. Like it was really, really lovely. So yeah, that was really, really nice. So I didn't have to do that. So then going over to, I actually didn't make the bed on Saturday. I remember that now because I made like a whole deal of it. I did do dishes both of the days. Floors. I didn't handle that on Saturday. Did I? One of those days I did do both. This might actually take more research than previously disclosed. I was very, very low energy on Saturday, so I'm not thinking a whole lot happened then, truthfully. Now I'm not, it's like I'll remember everything and then I'll remember nothing. So this is gonna be a backwards and forward situation for sure. Okay, 6 of water. I feel strong about that. I know I would have handled the litter box all the days. I didn't really do much in the garden over the weekend. I'm gonna say I did at least one task on Saturday and Sunday because I was doing a good bit of cleaning. I really think the floors escapade happened on Sunday. I'm gonna go with my gut on that. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I'll fix it in post. Okay, so we are also going to add the little icon. That's not right. while that's drying so we don't smudge it, I'm gonna connect some dots. And like I said, I am gonna have to research. Like, I know some of these weren't paid until this week. So I really feel confident that it was Venmo and Klarna and the rest of these went on to next week, but I need to double check that for sure. So these are gonna be in more pieces than I thought. More research, TBD. And then I'm gonna do the little line that I said. Like I said, this was gonna be a clunky finish. I'm sorry about that. And I did it wrong. Okay, can we fix this? I feel like we can fix it. From here to here because I started in a good headspace like that day, but like I said, I really don't get to be at home for a whole weekend where I don't have to run around like that very often. And when I say like that, I mean between the houses. Like, it's very rare, and I just felt really bad because I couldn't also go out. Like, by the time Jeff was like, hey, do you want to come out? I couldn't because I had so much prep work to do for Maven. Like, it was just completely unrealistic at that point, unfortunately. And so let's use that. I want to use groceries. Pretty sure I paid some bills. Pretty sure I did some cleaning somewhere in here. At this point, I'm just kind of trying to pull out some things that I know I'll use. So first and foremost, and Jeff did come over this night, and then I went for a run pretty early. I'm just moving this up a little bit so it's like more in line. I'll use that in a little bit. I went to Walmart and got a ton of stuff. It's like seasonal related. Okay, and then after that, I kind of got to work. So I needed to do an application for a client, and that did take up a majority of the day. So I'm literally gonna do ASAP, Redtail, and Jackson, because that would have been all I did work-wise for the day. Full honesty there. I am gonna make a note because I remember thinking like about the fact that I was paying bills on a Friday, and I know I paid bills. Is that like, what is that? Or is it an arrow? Like, oh, I about made a mess. I don't know what that is, like why that little streak is there. Yeah. Okay. So I paid bills, and I started watching Adolescence. I did finish it the next day. I think I did like 2 parts. I need to get my spelling right. That's already not right. So I did half of them, and then I worked on some September pages. Like I said, I feel like I cleaned some things, but I could be totally wrong. I think I didn't start cleaning until Saturday. Full truth there. Just so I know exactly what it was that I worked on, but that was Friday in a nutshell that I can, to the best of my recollection. And then the next morning, I slept horribly. I had a god-awful nightmare, like absolutely terrible nightmare. Yeah, not great. And so I kind of like got up and thought that I would, I'm just gonna put up at 4 a.m. It was even earlier than that. I think it was a little bit before that. But I am going to see if I can fit it in episodes 3 and 4. And then I talked about it in my daily, so I'm not going to rank it here. I think I gave it 4 stars. Okay. Won't need that. I do want to use my groceries thing again. To Publix. Pretty early. I'll save this for like later in the day, I think. And then let's see about the spray bottle. I feel like that was more than next day. And I do need to find that spray bottle for real. It's right there. But because I woke up so early from my nightmare, sorry about that. So I had this dream basically that I was going to get fired, which is really weird. And that my coworker was getting fired. It was weird. It was all kind of weird. And so I just didn't want to go back to sleep, which sounds so sad. But I just didn't. I really could not get back to sleep, and I knew I wasn't going to. And I should have tried to go back to sleep. I really should have, because I was like within an hour, like was super sluggish. I should have tried to take a nap. There's so many things I should have done a little bit differently, but I just didn't. So there's that. And then I did go to Kroger a little bit later in the day, and these were kind of like, I was kind of cleaning a little bit along and along. I do want to use a heart again, but I need to clean this up because this is insane. I kind of did use it to my advantage though, quite honestly, the low energy, because even though I wasn't really feeling like doing a bunch of anything, it did work out for running errands, because I was like, I'd much rather go to the grocery store than clean, and I'd much rather, like, I was very fussy and I didn't want to be lazy, and I needed to get some things done, but part of that, I needed to actually run some errands, and so it ended up being a much more beneficial time to do that. I'm not actually going to use that one. I do want to use a heart. So the other few things that I did, it was a pretty well-rounded day, truthfully, though. Okay. So I'm going to do a little heart, because I went to Bath and Body Works, and originally I had gone to see if they had a particular hand soap that I couldn't find online. And so not only did I find it, but they had a really good sale and a coupon, so it was really nice. And then I also worked on September 2024 pages, and dailies, and reorganize. I'm just gonna bleed into all the columns this particular plan with me. I reorganized my washi completely, which was fantastic. And I watched Dead Poets Society for a fall movie. Dead Poet Society really reminds me of Mona Lisa's Smile. It's just like the male version. I love how many tiny icons there are. So I can put the movie away, not the TV. So I started watching The Spanish Princess, much more respectable hour. Oh, it's crooked. Now I'm kind of getting the hang of it, like remembering a little bit of what went on, which is good. So it means that the only thing that you guys are not going to see on camera is the weather for Saturday and Sunday, which for the record was sunny. It's been very sunny here. We haven't gotten rain really. I'm hoping that we get some this week. The Spanish Princess, and I'm gonna write season 1 because season 1, I did watch season 1. That's not what I'm guffawing about. Okay, so I'm gonna do season 1 episodes 1 through 4, which is half of the freaking season. Season 1 is available on Prime for like another few days, essentially. So there's that. Then I really concentrated on like meal prep things. So the reason I had to go to a bunch of grocery stores before was because Mabon was on the 22nd, which was Monday, the following Monday, and I needed to prep a good bit of food because I would be working on Monday, and I really just wanted it to be as simple as humanly possible. So I went ahead and pre-made the stuffing, the sweet potato mash that goes at the bottom of my casserole, gravy for my biscuits and gravy the following morning. Okay. Then as far as cleaning, that was kind of happening in the interim there. So I did the toilet, the sink. I worked on the kitchen, mainly like just counters, dishes, stuff like that, like just keeping everything kind of tidy. And I'm gonna go ahead and put vacuum, because I did vacuum that day. I think the floors were split, not like I thought. So I'm just gonna put X marks for both, because I did still tend to the floors a pretty good deal in that time frame. I'm gonna also do a little plant symbol for water, and I removed the peppers. I could have also put there, but I'm just gonna put trash and recycle was handled this particular day. And then I continued working on September dailies from 2024. So that handles it. That's really it in a nutshell, guys. I'm sorry it was kind of a little clunkier of a finish than I estimated. Like I said, the only thing that you're not really gonna see on screen is the weather. We can go ahead and pop my water down in below. I was not super great with my water over the weekend. I was getting close, and I'm still much better with the Stanley. I just haven't like worked out the ratio, and it's weird to like not see my water and just be 2 full water bottles and call it a day. So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out. Again, I'm sorry about the little bit of a clunky finish. I hope you guys enjoy this video and the color and the tiny icons, and I hope it encourages you to try to do a minimalistic spread sometime soon. I really love a tiny icon spread for that minimalist look. And I'll catch you guys next time. But in the meantime, enjoy creating your own little wonderlands. Bye.